My life, I have two major passions, gaming and technology. During my day, I come across many different devices that help people with their day-to-day lives, as well as complete time wasters that just seem to make you smile. I also love to play video games. It could be a AAA title or an indie diamond in the rough. I just gotta play them. That's what this show is all about. Showing the world the marvelous inventions or the colossal waste of time. Not everyone has the ability or the time to spend all day sorting through the vast chasms of the internet or the back alley hobby shops to find the technological wonders of the world. So, I created this show to show off the gadgets and gizmos that you may or may not know about. Hello, my name is Hardwired. This is the first episode of the Hardwired Tech Cast. Moving right along into the tech segment of the show, we're going to be talking today about a KVM switch. Now, KVM stands for Keyboard Video Mouse. The purpose of this device is so that you can take a keyboard and a mouse and even a monitor and switch it between two different computers at the same time. Some of the other features that can be used for, some of the useful features that I do with it, is you could take the keyboard and keep it plugged into your main computer. And then whenever you're using your PlayStation 3 or your Xbox 360, you can switch it over to that. So instead of having to type out with the controller, you'll actually have full keyboard support. Some units come with extra sound ports, extra USB ports, but all of them come with a way to plug in a keyboard and a mouse and a video screen. You can find these at newegg.com. Just search for KVM switch. I'll have a link to at the bottom of the video. And the prices are not horrible. I think I got mine for about $29.99. So they're in that range. You can get some that are a little bit more expensive, a little bit better, around $60, stuff like that. But you can just look around and see what you can find. But that's what they are. They're cool little devices. I'd definitely recommend getting one. Alright, moving right along, we're going to go over to the game segment of the show. So, today's game is called Blade Symphony. Now, for anybody that remembers the old Jedi Knight Academy games, this game is very reminiscent of it. So far, it is in early access right now, so there is a lot of stuff that they're wanting to add in that hasn't been added in yet. It's on Steam. You can search for it under Blade Symphony. It's, if I remember correctly, it's only about $15 right now. It's very fun, even with the limited amount of stuff that you can do. You just go in and it's you aim your mouse to attack, but it's sweeping attacks. It's not a shooter with swords. You're gonna do actual area damage, stuff like that. Where your sword hits is what you hurt. There's no environmental damage or anything like that. It's current, like I said, it's early access, and it is very early access. But from what I have seen so far, this game is a true diamond in the rough, and I'll be showing a video of it here in just a second so you guys can get a first look at it. Well, the characters are Phalanx, Judgment, Ryoko, and Pure. Ryoko, I'm probably pronouncing that name wrong. Forgive me. Moving on, some of the current weapons that are in the game would be the katana, the longsword, the foil, the scimitar, and the jian. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that one correctly either, but forgive me, yeah. Just to recap, the game's in early access, it's PvP, and it's reminiscent of the Jedi Academy, and its price is $14.99 currently on Steam. Like I said, it's an early access game. It's not a green light game, in case you're thinking it's in there. So just go into Steam and search for it. I think it's currently on the featured in the store page. And yes, it is. As of right now, it's a featured item on Steam. So if you find this video sometime soon, maybe you can find it. Alright, now we're going to move on to the last segment of the show called the Green Light Watch. Basically, what the Green Light Watch is it's going through Project Greenlight on Steam, and basically there are so many games in the Greenlight right now that you could get lost in it. And what I'm planning on doing is every once in a while, whenever I look through it and I find a game that's worth mentioning, I'm going to help everybody out by telling them where it is, what the link is to it, so they can go check it out and support young developing game companies. I mean, think about it. When was the last time you actually saw a new IP? If you want new games, we're going to have to look towards the up-and-comer guys. So that's what Project Greenlight is on Steam. I fully support it. I like it. And there's actually been quite a few games that have come out of it. Some of the more popular games, in case you didn't know it, that came out of Greenlight would be a game called Papers, Please by Duco. It's a fun little Russian game. It's a fun little game where you are a border patrol agent that's checking everybody's papers, making sure they're actually supposed to be in the company, stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. It doesn't sound like it would be a lot of fun, but once you get into it, you realize that you've actually just spent hours in a game that you're stamping somebody's passport. Just trust me on this. At least take a look at it. You ain't got to buy it. I'm not telling anybody go buy anything or anything like that. Just go take a look. Alright, another famous game that has came out of Project Greenlight would be the Game Dev Tycoon. I actually found Game Dev Tycoon before Greenlight, but that was because of a story that it came out of Game Dev, out of there, where the people that were creating this, that was their very first game, and they decided to put a really interesting Easter egg for all of the pirates. The purpose of Game Dev Tycoon is you are making a game company. And as we all know, with pirates, well, okay, I won't say as we all know. This is there's arguments for both sides. I'm not going to take sides or anything like that. But with Game Dev Tycoon, the Easter egg that it came out was they had a way to determine if the person had actually bought the game or if they pirated it. And instead of locking the person out of the game if they pirated it, they basically made it to where in the game, your game company would go bankrupt because everybody was pirating your games that you made instead of buying them. That is the absolute most creative DRM I've ever heard of. I'm one that I don't like DRM. I believe that Steam is more than enough to keep piracy down, stuff like that. But as soon as I heard that story, just on principle alone, I had to go and get this game, and I will tell you right now, I am extremely glad that I did. I have spent so many hours in that game. Go take a look at it. Try it out. You're going to like it. Game Dev Tycoon was made by Greenheart Games. Anyways, the last game to come out of that we're going to talk about coming out of Project Greenlight that's actually famous is Dive Kick. A guy named Skrilla Jones came up with the idea he would make a satirical game that was all about the dive kick. Well, everybody saw this game and people immediately fell in love with it, and it went from being a joke to being an actual game. So they put it up on Greenlight, and that was one of the games that came out of Project Greenlight. And it was worthy of the mention. It turned out to be a really good game. I mean, it was funny. If you know some of the stuff the background of what they were making fun of. The game was absolutely hilarious. But anyways, that's an explanation of what green light is. So that's going to tell you what we're talking about on the green light watch. But moving right along to the green light watch, the game that we're going to be talking about is called Next Car Game. It's a destruction derby and flat out style game that was actually made by the company that made Flat Out. This is just one of their next games, and according to them, they said that they went out and they wanted to make a new Flat Out type game, and they were told by their production guys that no, nobody wants that style of game, so they decided to put it out on Greenlight, and they came to find out, yes, people actually do want it. I mean, you hear Flat Out, and it's like, yeah, I would love a new Flat Out, a great Flat Out. So that's the game to be watching for on Project Greenlight. You can go on to Steam and just search in Greenlight for Next Car Game. And, of course, I'll have a link for this and all the other games that I talked about today on the bottom of the video. And for next week's video, this segment will probably be swapped out for something I would like a call for help type segment from the old G4 or Tech TV days, where it'll just be a quick little segment that's just cool little things you may not have known about Windows, having Windows 7 or Windows 8. I've actually got a friend that's got Windows 8. He's getting really proficient with Windows 8, and I'm going to get him to come in and help talk about some of the things that you could do in Windows 8. And I'll be talking about some of the things you may not have known about in Windows 7. So that's something to look forward to for next week. So once again, I'm Hardwire. This is the Hardwired Tech Cast. Thank you for checking us out. If you like what you see, don't forget to rate, subscribe, and follow and all that. And look for us on Twitch, on Twitter, and all that under the Hardwired Tech Cast. Yeah. Thanks for watching.